In Egypt in 1895, archaeologists John Banning, his father Stephen and his uncle Joseph Wemple are searching for the tomb of Princess Ananka, the high priestess of the god Karnak. John has a broken leg and cannot accompany his father and uncle when they open the tomb. Before they enter, an Egyptian named Mehamet Bey warns them not to go in, lest they face the fatal curse against desecrators. Stephen and Joseph ignore him, and discover within the sarcophagus of Ananka. After Joseph leaves to tell John the good news, Stephen finds the scroll of life and reads from it. Outside, members of the archaeological team hear his screams and rush into the tomb to find Stephen in a catatonic state. 3 years later, back in England, Stephen Banning comes out of his catatonia at the Engerfield nursing home for the mentally disordered, and sends for his son. He tells him that when he read from the scroll of life, he unintentionally brought back to life Curies, the mummified high priest of Karnak. The high priest had been sentenced to be entombed alive to serve as the guardian of Princess Ananka's tomb. Curies secretly loved the princess and attempted to restore her to life after she died. When he was discovered, eternal life and mummification were his punishment. Now, Stephen tells his disbelieving son that Curies will hunt down and kill all those who desecrated Ananka's tomb. Meanwhile, Mehamet Bey, a devoted worshipper of Karnak, comes to Engerfield under the alias of Mehamet Atkil to wreak vengeance on the Bannings. He hires a pair of drunken carters, Pat and Mike, to bring the slumbering Curies in a crate to his rented home, but the two men's drunken driving cause Curies' crate to fall off and sink into a bog. Later, using the scroll of life, Mehamet exhorts Curies to rise from the mud, then sends him to murder Stephen Banning. When Curies kills Joseph Wemple the next night, John witnesses it. He shoots Curies with a revolver at close range, but to no effect. Police Inspector Mulrooney is assigned to solve the murders, but, because he is skeptical and deals only in cold, hard facts, he does not believe John's incredible story about a killer mummy, even when John tells him that he is likely to be Curies' third victim. While Mulrooney investigates, John notices that his wife Isabel bears an uncanny resemblance to Princess Ananka. Gathering testimonial evidence from other individuals in the community, Mulrooney slowly begins to wonder if the mummy is real. Mehamet Bey sends the mummy to the Bannings' home to slay his final victim. However, when Isabel rushes to her husband's aid, Curies sees her, releases John, and leaves. Mehamet Bey mistakenly believes that Curies has completed his task, and prepares to return to Egypt. John, suspecting Mehamet Bey of being the one controlling the mummy, pays him a visit, much to Bey's surprise. After John leaves, Mehamet Bey leads Curies in a second attempt on John's life. The mummy knocks Mulrooney unconscious, while Mehamet Bey deals with another policeman guarding the house. Curies finds John in his study and starts to choke him. Alerted by John's shouts, Isabel runs to the house without Mulrooney. At first, the mummy does not recognize her, but John tells her to loosen her hair and the mummy releases John. When Mehamet orders Curies to kill Isabel, he refuses. Mehamet tries to murder Isabel himself, but is killed by Curies instead. The mummy carries the unconscious Isabel into the swamp, followed by John, Mulrooney, and other policemen. John yells to Isabel. When she regains consciousness, she tells Curies to put her down. The mummy reluctantly obeys. When Isabel has moved away from him, the policemen open fire, causing Curies to sink into a quagmire, taking the scroll of life with him.